Matt Zuccarello, Rangers scoring threat. He's been shooting more, and the puck has started going in. He scored 2 goals in Toronto, including the game winner. His 6-game point streak make him the team's hottest player. They want the scoring to continue as they head into a matchup with the Colorado Avalanche tonight. Welcome to Denver, Colorado for New York Rangers hockey. Tonight, the Rangers take on the Colorado Avalanche. New York Rangers hockey is presented by Chase. Hello, everyone. Welcome to New York Rangers hockey. Sam Rosen along with Joe Micheletti and John Giannone. What a day here in Denver.
Oh, boy.
65 degrees, sunny.
Playoff weather.
Almost golfing weather. That's next in Phoenix. But as far as the Rangers are concerned, want to continue a good start to the road trip with a win in Toronto. And the line that was put together, just a little tweak there, with Brassard, Nash, and Zuccarello really clicked, Joe.
Well, that was the line that really got the Rangers going when they started on their winning streak where they won 12 in a row. That line was leading the way for the Rangers, and then there were a few adjustments along the way, some injuries, a couple of games where they didn't score very well, but they're back together now. And I'll tell you what, they are really going. You talk about chemistry. I mean, this is a line with, you've got Brassard in the middle, is such a wonderful passer. And so if you get him the puck with a little bit of time, he'll find the open men. And then, of course, now you've got Matt Zuccarello starting to shoot the puck a little bit more. That always helps. And Rick Nash, he just continues game after game after game. If he's not scoring goals, he's setting up players. And quite the season for Mr. Rick Nash.
Well, we have the Dad's Trip. It begins officially here in Denver. So with us is our new analyst, and that is Rick's dad, Jamie Nash. How about Rick's season, Jamie?
Yeah, he's doing really, really well this year. Yeah, we're really proud of him.
What's interesting, Jamie, is that wherever we go, and whatever radio station, when we get interviewed, they ask us, what's the difference in Rick Nash this year? He's having an MVP-type season. Everybody is recognizing that. What do you see in his game that might be different than last year or the previous years?
I think what happened when Rick had his son, I think he really looked at things differently. Not only his father, but he looked at his life differently, and I think he looked at his game differently as well, that he had to mature, not only as a person, but as a player. I think that's really helped him.
When you watch Rick play now in the NHL, you get nervous at all? How do you feel?
I don't get as nervous as when he first started. Now I know he's a little more, I don't think cautious is the right word on the ice, but he knows what he's doing now. He knows when to give it, when not to give it, when to come back, hopefully every time. But, he just plays a little bit differently now, a lot more mature game.
All right, enjoy the game tonight. We'll talk about the second line, which also was a factor, Joe. It didn't score, but certainly looked good the other night with Derek Stepan in the middle, Chris Kreider on the left, Marty St. Louis on the right, and our GMC key player for tonight is Chris Kreider, who, as we all know, is such an imposing power forward and a threat every time he's on the ice.
Well, he has, and you see him mature. And speaking of maturing, what kind of advice has Mr. Kreider given his son over the last year or two?
Well, just to go out and play his game, learn every game, work every shift, do what you can do.
David, a couple of years ago, he was at Boston College. Here he is, a regular in the NHL. How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's exciting. It's a lot of fun to watch, and, it's just every night's a new experience, watching it.
How's this experience been for you? You get to hang out with your son and the rest of the players. What's it meant to you?
Oh, it's so much fun on these trips to see what's really going on behind the scenes, the production, to get these boys, to all the different towns and everything, and the food, the entertainment they provide for us is fantastic, and to see what really goes on, there's a lot more to it than just what you see on the ice.
All right, have fun watching your son and the Rangers play tonight.
Thank you.
All right, that's David Kreider, Chris's dad. We got a lot of dads on this trip for the New York Rangers. Cam Talbot will be in goal for the 5th straight game for the Rangers. His dad will be here, and so will the captain. Ryan McDonough's dad is here as Ryan has lifted his game, looking for the Rangers to go at the Avalanche tonight. We are back in Denver. Glad you're with us for the Rangers and the Avalanche. Thursday Night Hockey is presented by Ram Trucks. Getting set for the Rangers and the Avalanche. Closed captioning is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Hey, You never know. And we check out our Audi goaltending matchup. As we mentioned, Cam Talbot getting the start. 5th consecutive start. 6-5-2. Wasn't really happy with his game in Toronto, Joe.
No, he looked to struggle a little bit, Sam, but they're not making any changes. He goes right back in there. And there's the man that has had an outstanding season, Semyon Varlamov. And he has single-handedly kept this team in it, if you want to consider them still in the playoff race.
They're 12th. They're 8 points out of a playoff spot. But last week, they were 2 points behind. But then they lost back-to-back games to Detroit, Minnesota, and that really hurt their chances.
Yeah, and there's Patrick Roy. You talk about someone who's positive and always speaks that way publicly about his team. You know, this is a team that's so much different from last year, Sam. Those top scorers that they had last year, very few of them are scoring this year.
You're right. Rick Nash sends in. And Varlamov steered it in the corner. The line, as we mentioned, Brassard, Zuccarello, and Nash. Kevin Klein with Mark Stahl.
This is a Colorado team that gives up a lot of shots, almost 34 a game against.
And a whistle for an offside. You see the lineups coming in at the top of your screen. Brought to you by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance.
Yeah, Lane Vigneault creeping closer and closer to that 500 mark in career wins as a coach.
498. Another win would tie him with Terry Murray at 499. And then you get into that elite status. Those coaches over 500, most of them are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Or if they're not, they're going to be.
Right. He's just, he talked a little bit before the game about his first, he was asked a question about his first win as a coach, and it was in Boston. A great rivalry, Montreal and Boston. And of course, Alain Vigneault was the head coach of the Montreal Canadiens to start his career.
That was his first head coaching job before going on to Vancouver. And now in his second year with the Rangers. Rangers have the line of Hayes, JT Miller, and Carl Hagelin. There's Hagelin in front, and it just slid off his stick. Shot by Girardi goes wide. Girardi and McDonough on the ice together.
Well, what a pass from Hayes. Quick, right off his tape. He wasted no time at all. Gave it to Hagelin right back on the side of the net. And Hagelin tried to get it to the front, lost control, but that's a good start for that line that's been good the last number of games for the Rangers.
Girardi waited behind the net for the Rangers to complete a line change. Stepan, St. Louis, and Kreider on with Girardi and Matt Hunwick, who's in. John Moore is a healthy scratch tonight. Jesper Fast remains out with the sprained knee. And Henrik Lundqvist is with the team, but out with a sprained blood vessel.
Yeah, we're going to take another look at this line. That's young line that make things happen. Miller with a good move in the middle. Quick pass to Hayes, who then returned the favor to Hagelin, and Hagelin just lost control at the last second. But it's been a line that's had some real nice chemistry.
Yes.
They play well together. They're utilizing Hagelin's speed. Miller's doing a good job in the corners and using his size.
Rangers have Dominic Moore with Lee Stempniak and Tanner Glass. Klein and Stahl back on the ice on defense. Rangers have gotten all four lines on the ice. There's Alex Tanguay, who's leading Colorado in scoring. That's one of the strange things. You have two veteran players, 35-year-old Alex Tanguay, who leads the team in points scored, and 37-year-old Jerome McKinley, who leads the team in goals scored.
Sam, all those, a lot of those young players that scored so much last year just aren't doing it this year.
Coming around the net was Duchesne. Now Tanguay out in front, comes all the way out of the zone. Tyson Barrie, number 4, goes back to get it.
There was Stahl and Klein out against that line with Duchesne centering. The matchup that the Rangers want is McDonough and Girardi against that line, if they can.
This young line is Ryan O'Reilly, number 90, with the captain, Gabriel Landeskog, number 92, and Nathan McKinnon, who was the first pick overall 2 years ago. Nash's shot deflected out of play by Brad Stewart. While we're talking a little about Colorado, let's check out our Land Rover scouting report. And that features the veteran, Alex Tanguay, who's in his second stint with Colorado, played his first 6 years in the NHL with the Avalanche.
Yeah, he's a player that's gone through some injuries the last number of years as well, and they've really missed him when he's been out of the lineup. There's no question he is their best passer. And you talk about an older player that still plays hard on the puck and gets it, holds on to it to make plays. It's him.
Give away to Landeskog, but his pass taken away by Stepan. And Stepan leads Kreider down the ice. Kreider against Holden, number 2. Holden with a bump in the corner. Kreider keeps it alive, double team. Back to Girardi. Girardi lifting it out of play, up in the netting. It was deflected, and the face-off will stay in the Colorado zone. We are 3 minutes, 17 seconds into the game. The Avalanche beat the Rangers in their first meeting in New York in a shootout, 4-3.
Yeah, and they showed a lot of speed in that particular game. There's Matt Hunwick. He spent some time here in Colorado.
Yeah.
It's always a good idea, Sam, for a coach to put a player that got traded from a place back in the lineup. He's always got just a little bit of extra.
And just the familiarity about playing here in Denver, in the altitude, and having been here for parts of 4 seasons.
Well, you mentioned the altitude. That's why short shifts are important.
Zuccarello to Nash. Nash to Hunwick. Hunwick's pass intended for Boyle went all the way through Zuccarello to Brassard. Rangers moving it on the outside. Nash's shot blocked. Broken stick by Iginla, who blocked the shot. And the puck cleared out. Iginla wanted to break down the ice. Here's Duchesne pulling up. Checked there by Brassard. And Brassard with a takeaway, and the Rangers come out. Hagelin taken away by Nate Gennon. Nate Gennon, number 5, who has struggled on defense for Colorado lately.
7 defensemen in the lineup for Colorado in this one.
Pressing 7D. A high shot by Stahl. Save and a rebound save on Hagelin's rebound. A big save by Varlamov.
Yeah, we said they give up shots, and Stahl just takes a shot from the point. There was plenty of traffic in front of the goaltender Varlamov, but it got through. Here's the work in the corner. Hagelin makes the play and then goes to the front of the net. So the long shot is stopped, and Hagelin, after getting to the front, gets a second chance. Varlamov stopped that one as well.
Rangers getting some chances early. 4 shots already for the Rangers in just about 4.5 minutes of play. Avalanche have yet to get a shot on goal. 4th line on for the Rangers. Holden sending it to Brad Stewart. And the puck taken back by Stempniak. Drops it off for Kevin Klein. Dominic Moore tried to reverse. It was blocked by Stewart. Stempniak for Tanner Glass. Now Klein with a wrist shot that's deflected away. Moore's got it. Moore shoots, deflected by John Mitchell, one-time New York Ranger, who signed here a couple of seasons back as a free agent. Moore trying to wind it deep, gets it behind the net. Stewart sends it up the boards. And Mitchell goes back to recover. Rangers doing a good job.
Yeah, they do. They are, Sam. They have the extra step right now in Colorado. They're forecheck. They're keeping the play in the Colorado zone here in the early part of this period.
Avalanche have lost 3 in a row. That came after going 3-0-1. Here's a lead on the deflected pass to Hagelin. Hagelin checked there.
How about that pass from Hayes? A little deflection.
Penalty upcoming on the Avalanche.
Yeah, now they draw the penalty.
Hayes was taken down.
Now Girardi made the long pass from his own zone to Hayes in the middle of the ice. And Hayes with a real nice little deflection over to Hagelin. And then they get it in the zone. Hayes uses the body. Gets taken down on the play.
Both players go. That's O'Reilly in the penalty box. And
Hayes
closed his hand on the puck. Let's see it.
See it again.
Oh,
You can't do
yeah.
that.
All right, so it winds up 4-on-4.
I'm not sure he knew that there was going to be a delayed penalty. If Hayes had known that, he wouldn't have touched the puck.
Right. So Team skating 4 aside. Face-off win. The shot by McDonough went wide.
2 minutes for concealing the puck. Avalanche penalty, number 90,
Ryan O'Reilly, who last season, I believe, had only 1 penalty all season, now has 6 this season.
That was late, eh, Sam?
Yeah.
I mean, it was real late in the season when he took the penalty and then won the Lady Byng.
Duchesne, checked there by McDonough. Good job by Ryan McDonough. Stepan tries to move it. Kept in by Tanguay. Duchesne had it knocked away by Stepan. And McDonough has it back. McDonough and Girardi. Stepan and St. Louis. St. Louis and Stepan go off. Broussard comes on with Zuccarello. Matt Zuccarello with a 6-game point scoring streak. With 8 points in the 6 games. Kevin Klein moves in. Stewart picks him up. Pass blocked by Stewart. Klein battling. Broussard helps out. Broussard to Zuccarello. Back to Broussard as the Rangers circle. John Mitchell checking Broussard. Stays with him. And Zuccarello helped out. Pass across to Klein. Big drive deflected. It hit Stewart and hurt him. Brad Stewart is hurt on the ice. Gets up slowly and heads for the bench. 6:51 gone by. First period, Rangers and Avalanche. No score. Back in Denver, time to join our man between the benches, John Giannone. He's in tight quarters there.
I was going to say, Sam, every spot between the benches in the league affords you a great opportunity to feel what's going on. But this one, there's nothing between me and these guys. Kind of feel like a 13th forward at times, but you do get a good feel for a vibe when you're this close. And so far, the positive play on the ice has led to a very positive reinforcement feeling from the Rangers coaches, and especially trainer Jim Ramsey, who always has a positive word for these guys as they come off the ice. And the 4-0 shot advantage is something they like so far. And we have JT Miller to join us between periods. His dad is on the trip, so we'll ask him about that dynamic. And we also have both Brian Leetch and Ron Duguay in studio. We'll get their thoughts throughout the night, guys.
We'll check in with you later. Thanks, John. You know, I thought John would just turn to Marty St. Louis and say, how's it going, Marty? It's right there.
I thought he was a 7th defenseman, John. I didn't know he was a forward.
That pass broken up by Mark Stahl coming back. Teams are skating 4 aside. Landeskog, the captain, 22 years old. Turns and a shot blocked by Dan Boyle.
Boy, both defensemen were, the Rangers nearly had a breakaway. Landeskog was the only forward back. Both defensemen had taken off and gone to the net. And Landeskog's shot was blocked. The Rangers just couldn't get the handle.
Varlamov stopped play. See Henrik Lundqvist in a whole new light as he hangs out with Jeff Gordon, Michael J. Fox, John McEnroe, and a whole lot more. Together, they'll design the perfect goalie masks to be auctioned off for charity. The Mask with Henrik Lundqvist, presented by Visa. A new series premieres next Thursday after Rangers hockey on MSG+. Shot by Girardi, blocked it away. Shot by McDonough, stick save. Teams are back at full strength on the ice. Hagelin's pass was deflected away. McDonough reaches for it but missed, and it's brought the other way by Ryan O'Reilly, who turns it back. No score in the game. Rangers have had 7 shots on goal. The Avalanche none. Hagelin's pass off the stick of JT Miller. He's got it back. Hayes toward the net, steered away by Varlamov. 8 minutes gone by. First period, no score. That's Dennis Everberg, rookie from Sweden, number 45, on for Colorado, signed as a free agent prior to the start of the season. And a pass to Stepan, moves in, his shot deflects into the corner. Chased down by St. Louis. Check there. Hunwick for Stepan. And the puck taken away and cleared out.
Now the Rangers are the team that's playing like they're desperate to make the playoffs. I mean, they are totally controlling this.
St. Louis got taken down. Duchesne tries one, glove save. First shot on goal for Colorado, and Talbot was ready for it with a real good glove save.
Yeah, Matt Duchesne ends up with the puck in the neutral zone. St. Louis had it, lost it. Here comes Duchesne with a little bit of time and space, and good first save by Cam Talbot. He was sitting back there the entire game, just watching play down on the other end until that one.
Matt Duchene, one of those young players who hasn't lived up to expectations.
No.
Expectations rose very high coming into the season after this year that Colorado had last year.
It sure did, Sam. And this is the first year of his $6 million contract extension as well. Sometimes, you know, Sam, all those things, you know, you're a young player. You got McKinnon who had that kind of year. Second year now, a lot of different things going on. Maybe he thinks it was easy. The Rangers will get penalized here. Mark Stahl will go off. And so, do you want to talk about the Colorado power play, or should I?
There's nothing to say about it. It's nothing. Right now, it's been a 0 for them.
0 for 27 over the last 9 games. Here's Stahl trying to stand up. There you see the stick into the skates. And so Colorado has, and Patrick Waugh told us this morning, I don't even want to talk about numbers. And I guess that's a smart thing to do because the numbers are totally negative. 29th in the league on the power play, 0 for their last 27.
Rangers have Dominic Moore and Carl Hagelin with
Number 18, Mark Stahl, 2 minutes.
Dan Girardi
Time of the penalty.
and Ryan McDonough as the penalty killers. Rangers penalty killing has dropped off a little bit, now 14th in the league. Colorado, as Joe mentioned, just struggling on the power play. Landeskog carries deep. They scored only 4 power play goals in the last 20 games. Jerome McGinley, their leading goal scorer, future Hall of Famer. Pass across, and the shot high and wide. That was some good passing, but the shot by O'Reilly missed. Nathan McKinnon, that shot deflected up into the netting as Colorado moved the puck very well.
No, they did. You know, the shot by O'Reilly, I mean, you have to hit the net there. You know, but again, they're tight, I'm sure. There's so much talk about their lack of production on the power play, and then McKinnon, no, not a bad job by him just to take the shot. And there you see the point differential in his game. Big drop off this season.
Puck wound in deep. Klein able to move it. Klein and Boyle on, and good play by Rick Nash. Got to the puck and quickly fired it down the ice. Under a minute to go in the Colorado power play. No score in the game. 9:45 to go in the first. Holden gets it to Tanguay. Alex Tanguay carries in. Good poke check by Kevin Klein, and Nash one-hands it down the ice. Good timing on the poke check by Klein.
Klein and Nash tied for 8th in the league in the plus-minus department, both plus 21.
That's dumped in by Holden. Chased down by Zach Redmond, number 22. He's ridden to the boards by McDonough. Kevin Hayes turns, and all the way down it goes. On goal, too. 20 seconds to go in the stalled penalty.
Yeah, pardon me, Sam. It gives you an idea of some of the confidence that they're getting in Kevin Hayes, how they now use him killing penalties, and he's just becoming a better and better player as the season progresses.
Tyson Barrie got it to Maxim Talbot. Take it away. Girardi was hit along the board. Scramble in front. Good hustle by Zuccarello. Power play is over. Stahl back on the ice. Zuccarello carries in and shoots, deflected off the glass. Played by Tyson Barrie for Colorado.
Varlamov didn't see the shot. Zuccarello used the defenseman as a screen.
No score in the game. Rangers out shooting the Avalanche 10-2 with 8:25 to go in the first period. Puck deep to Maxim Talbot. No relation to Cam Talbot. Dan Boyle is there. Brassard moves it to Nash. Nash to Zuccarello. Nice little pass. And here's Matt Hunwick. A bouncer that's stopped by Varlamov, and he holds it. 8:07 to go. First period. Rangers, second game of the 4-game road trip. No score. Time for the Coors Banquet Timeless Moment. Walter Tkachuk, are you watching? Up in Canada, Walter Tkachuk sets the Rangers record with 5 assists in one game in an 8-3 win over the Pittsburgh Penguins, February 12th, 1972. First time a Ranger had gotten 5 assists in the game. It's been matched by several other players, including Wayne Gretzky. But Walter Tkachuk was the first. Outstanding Rangers sentiment.
He was a good player, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Tremendous player.
Marty St. Louis gets it back on the give and go with Stepan. Try to get it back to him. Stewart blocked it. Kreider takes over. Kreider takes a hit from Landeskog. Klein keeps it in. Shot blocked in front. And the Avs come out with it. McKinnon. Nathan McKinnon is 19 and a half years old. Incredible.
It really is, isn't
Won't
it?
be 20
Well,
till September.
He had such a good year. Remember, they let Paul Stastny go as a free agent, one of the center icemen. They thought McKinnon would be ready to move into the center ice position. They tried it there. He started the season there. Hasn't worked, so he's back on the wing.
Good forecheck pressure. Duchesne able to move it. And Zach Redmond's pass. A little touch pass to Duchesne with speed. Save! Good save by Talbot.
Duchesne has great speed. This was a long pass, and then Duchesne comes in late. Here comes a long pass, and watch Tanguay just kind of throw it back towards his own net to Duchesne coming in. And Duchesne, second time with a shot inside the top of the circle for Matt Duchesne. Talbot's looked solid to start this game. Hasn't gotten a lot of work. Shots 11-4.
Face-off win by Dominic Moore. Hunwick lifts it out of the zone, but it went into the Rangers bench. And the face-off comes back in.
One went off the glass and out. Matt Hunwick also has his father in from Detroit for this one.
See what we mentioned before. Started here in Colorado, playing parts of 4 seasons. Stempniak trying to get to it. Stopped by Zach Redmond. Daniel Briere hanging in there, still playing, but hasn't been scoring. Talbot, Briere, and Everberg on for Colorado. Klein moves it.
I don't know anything, but I got the feeling that this is the last and final year for Daniel Briere as a player. That's the feeling I get.
His production has really tailed off.
Right.
Rangers take it back. Dan Boyle plays it back to Mark Stahl. There's Brassard. Quick puck movement. Zuccarello tried to put it in the zone. It was blocked. John Mitchell the other way. Cody McLeod on number 55 for Colorado. Duchesne plays it toward the front, went off the stick of Mitchell. Rangers gain control. Here's Zuccarello for Nash. That was broken up by Tyson Barrie. Matt Duchesne carries in. Mitchell plays it deep.
So with 11 forwards dressed for Colorado, Matt Duchesne is getting double shifted.
Ryan McDonough's skate lace broke, and he's on the bench waiting to replace it, get a new one. So Matt Hunwick took his spot on the ice. The puck out of play with 5:24 to go in the first. Ryan McDonough's back. We're back, calling all Rangerstown residents. Tell us how you became a Rangers fan for a chance to win the ultimate blue shirt experience. Submit your story today at myrangerstown.com.
Yeah, we talked about McDonough, and right after he sliced the skate lace, Tanner Glass did the same thing.
Billy Southern's got to work on the laces. Yeah. He was sprinting into the locker room, grabbing a lace. That was for McDonough. Then Tanner Glass needed one. All those guys, the training staff does such a great job. They are the unheralded heroes on a professional team. They work so hard.
It's nonstop. The amount of work they put in, late nights, hanging equipment, getting it dry, early mornings.
Can't say enough things about them.
They're a wonderful group.
Nice play by Stepan, almost a steal. Back the other way, McKinnon lifts it in. McDonough steps in front of McKinnon. McKinnon gets it back, pass in front, went off the skate. Alert play by Chris Kreider. And Stepan fires in. No score in the game. Shots are 11-4 in favor of the Rangers. 4:35 to go in the first period. Varlamov gloves it and holds it.
Rangers haven't had any real good opportunities in the last 4 or 5 minutes after a real quick start to this game.
This is one of those games you just have to be patient and stay with it. They're doing enough things early.
Well, Colorado, in 2 of their last 3 games, they've been shut out. And you can see again, and this has been a problem, you know, with them. They're trying to fight for a playoff spot, Sam. You were talking about their record lately.
Talbot shoots wide. Back pass from Everberg. Shot by Redmond, blocked by Stahl. In the corner, Kevin Klein against Everberg.
Boy, nice play by Stahl. Had his stick tied up, and he used his skate. He just turned the skate to block the shot.
Miller dumped it in. Jan Hayda's there. Miller with a hit. Pass from Hayes went by Hagelin to Klein. Stahl with the wrist shots. That's knocked into the corner. Played up the board. Stopped by Mark Stahl. Keeps it in. Jan Hayda. Around the glass. And Dan Boyle able to keep it in. Clearing attempt stopped by Miller. Hagelin tied up. Kevin Hayes finds Dan Boyle. That hit Miller and went wide. It's like it hit him in the skate.
It did. Actually, he's limping his way to the bench. That stung Miller.
Through his Boyle. He fakes. He scores. Oh, beautiful play. And Dan Boyle with a great finish with his dad in attendance and on the trip. 1-0 Rangers.
The Rangers were so good at keeping the puck in. It finally comes out of the zone. Colorado starts going for a change. And then how about the pass from Hayes? Colorado with a terrible change. Hayes now has time, and look at this pass right on the stick. Boyle, who's been so smart lately in reading when to move to the front of the net and when to stay back. Hayes gives him the nice little pass, and Boyle finishes it.
Dan Boyle, who had a goal in the game in Toronto. And the Rangers off to a 1-0 lead. And you might be able to hear it in the background. There are a lot of Ranger fans here in the building, and they've started a Let's Go Rangers chant.
Boy, Sam, what a terrible change.
Wow.
And Colorado has been going through this where these games are important and they're being outshot badly in first periods.
And they're a team that has been prone to sag when things go bad for them. Let's see if the Rangers can take advantage. Good hit by Tanner Glass on Matthew Shanes. Zuccarello fired, intercepted by Tyson Barrie. That shot goes up into the netting and play stops with 2:32 to go.
Well, here's what you don't do when you're trying to win hockey games. You watch all those sweaters over on the right, the dark sweaters. Look, they're going to the bench. 4 players changed, and the puck wasn't even past the red line.
Wow.
4 Colorado players go to the bench and allow the Rangers, and Boyle just looked at it and said, I'm gonna jump in. What a smart play and then a good pass.
Good stretch for Dan Boyle. Goals in 2 straight and in 4 of the last 7 games. And 8 on the season. So things on the upswing for Dan Boyle. And the Rangers scoring first, and they have been a good team when they score first. Klein battling Cody McLeod. Stahl is there with John Mitchell. McLeod, the big body, keeping the play alive. Klein staying right with him. Good job by the Rangers, and Stahl able to come away with it. Out of the zone for Dominic Moore. Rangers 13 shots on goal. Under 2 minutes remaining here in the first period. 1:45. Colorado has been held to only 4 shots on goal. Holden able to move it. Nathan McKinnon drops it off. Offside whistled against Colorado. Kevin Hayes on a good streak now.
That's 4 games in a row for Kevin Hayes, and he's been. Now the Rangers as a team have been really dominant this period. Most of the play has been in the Colorado zone. They've broken up a lot of plays in the neutral zone, and that line with Kevin Hayes and his 2 young wingers, they've been real good. And Patrick Roy, boy, oh boy, he's got to be shaking his head at that line change. I mean, that's just not paying attention. Now, you cannot win hockey games when you don't pay attention to a simple play such as that.
Stepan moves in. Challenge there by Stefan Elliott, number 46. Now Derek Stepan, back pass for St. Louis, went through him and out of the zone. McDonough also got an assist on the goal by Dan Boyle. Boyle's 8 from Hayes and McDonough. At 16:30, Kevin Hayes with points in 4 straight and 6 of his last 7. Good stretches. St. Louis looking, a shot blocked by Elliott and played by Landeskog, then taken away by Brassard. Landeskog has it back. McKinnon gets loose and shoots, saved by Talbot. St. Louis, 35 seconds to go in the period. Stahl and Klein. It's been a real solid period for the Rangers. A good road period. Played well. They've taken the play to the Avalanche. And they scored the first goal. Tanguay reverses. Brad Stewart lifting it ahead. He was knocked down. Again, they'll try to play it. Brassard ties up Stewart. And Brassard takes it away. Good effort by Derek Brassard. On the boards. Tanguay finds Matt Duchene. McDonough and Girardi were back. The period comes to an end. A good first period for the Rangers. Did a lot of good things and come away with a 1-0 lead.
Well, they hold Colorado to 5 shots, and all 5 shots were 25 to 30 feet or further out. So it was certainly an easy period for Cam Talbot, but the Rangers came out flying, on their toes, pressure on the puck, pressure in the offensive zone, and they kept that up throughout the period.
And you saw the dads in the booth there watching. They had to like that first period. Coming up, it's the Delta Intermission Report. John Giannone rejoins us. His special guest is JT Miller. Back in the studio in New York, Bill Pito has the Audi MSG 150. Ron Duguay and the Hall of Famer Brian Leetch have analysis and highlights in the studio, all coming up on the Delta Intermission Report. For the Rangers on the road, second game of the 4-game road trip, a good start. They score the first goal, Dan Boyle gets it, and lead 1-0, end of 1. We are back in Denver. Beautiful night here in Denver. Great night for hockey, and the Rangers a 1-0 lead. Start of the second. It's hockey on a Thursday night, and Thursday night hockey is presented by Ram Trucks. Want to take a moment to send our deepest condolences and best wishes to our longtime friend and colleague at MSG Network, Eddie Caginelli, the producer of Red Bulls Soccer. His mom, Claire, passed away just a couple of days ago, and this is a tough time for the entire Caginelli family. Want to let Eddie know that we're thinking of him and wishing him the best.
Yep, good man, been around for a long time, and our thoughts and prayers are with the family.
Always. Kevin Hayes, who had a big assist in that first period, and as JT Miller said, that line has developed some nice chemistry.
Has. Boy, they get the puck out of their zone quickly. They get down to the other end, and they go to work.
Brassard, Nash, and Zuccarello open up for the Rangers in the second period with Klein and Stahl. Nash fires from long distance, juggled by Varlamov, and he holds it.
Sammy, we were talking in that first period. This Colorado team, they played Minnesota in the first period, got outshot 17-4. They played Dallas in the first period, they had 5 shots. Play the Rangers, you got 5 shots in the first period. The attempts in that first period, the Rangers had 26 attempted shots, of which 13 were on goal, and Colorado had just 10 total.
Not only the 5 shots on goal, Joe, but those total 5 shots were by 2 players. So only 2 players had shots on goal.
And from well
Colorado.
out. Yeah, and from well out.
Brad Stewart pressured by Brassard. Landeskog was bumped by Zuccarello. Klein stops the puck, sends it back in. Rangers get back onside. Varlamov there to play it.
And so now, Samuel, the Rangers, you've got the 1-0 lead. That's not enough, even though this is a team that's been struggling. So you got to keep the foot on the gas and just keep going after it.
Kreider around to Klein. Klein, little pass ahead to Stepan. Fires off the boards for Kreider. Kreider with a shot that was blocked by Tyson Barrie. St. Louis drops it off for Girardi, who shoots a deflection, a save. Great play by Kreider, getting to the net for a deflection.
Yeah, and Dan Girardi moved in from the point. St. Louis just gave him a little drop pass, and Kreider just went straight to the net. Here it is again, a little drop pass right there. St. Louis to Girardi, head up all the way. Good pass onto the tape. Deflection right into the glove of Semyon Varlamov.
Rangers again, early pressure and early puck possession. McGinley playing it across, stopped by Girardi, and then deflected into the Rangers bench. And play stops. And Joe's touched on it. We mentioned it. Colorado has had trouble scoring last season. They were 4th in the league, averaging better at 3 goals per game. Now down to 2.4, 25th in the league in scoring.
Yeah, it's them. These are, players that were here. I mean, it's not, and it wasn't just, 1 or 2 players. They've had, you talk about Duchesne and McKinnon, and Landeskog is another one. And they're just, none of them are having good offensive seasons.
On the scoreboard, Pittsburgh had a 3-0 lead over Ottawa. Ottawa's come back in that game. It's now 4-4 in the 3rd period. Earlier, the Islanders won again. They've won 3 in a row. They beat Toronto 3-2, and there's Lee getting 2 goals. Kevin Hayes carrying in. Takes it deep, takes it to the net, and scores! What a goal by Kevin Hayes! Oh! They got to be jumping up and down in the dance booth there. There they are.
Even they can't believe that. I mean, that is a spectacular play. Mr. Hayes was bottom left there in the grayish sweater. This is a highlight reel goal. The length of the ice. And watch how he just turns it on right there, and then the hands as he takes it to the net. Beautiful, beautiful goal. Not much help for Varlamov. He went through everybody. What a play.
For a moment, he was back at Boston College, but nope, it's NHL style.
Oh, boy. I'm not sure how many times he did that at Boston College. That was that good.
What a goal. And the Rangers lead 2-0. And yes, to this point, they have kept the foot on the pedal. And out comes Stempniak, getting it to Tanner Glass. Glass took a hit from Zach Redmond. O'Reilly had it knocked away by Stahl. Rangers not giving Colorado any room to play.
No, that's a really good point. Nothing. And when Colorado gets the puck, the Rangers swarm the puck carrier, and they don't give them much room at all.
Girardi's pass tipped ahead by Zuccarello. Varlamov out to get the puck. Brad Stewart. Again, Rangers right in. Aggressive play by McDonough. Brassard around the boards. Girardi goes over, tried to stop it. Just came out of the zone. He ran into Tanguay, and Tanguay went down. Brassard back in. Brassard winds it deep for Zuccarello. Stewart moves it up the board, stopped by Girardi. Puck stays deep. Brassard. He's tied up by Holden. Zuccarello to Girardi. Now to McDonough. Quick shot blocked away by Brad Stewart. Excuse me, that was Iginla who got out to block the shot.
This is a Rangers brought the puck to this game and decided not to let anybody else play with it except their team.
Wow.
Every loose puck they're getting to. I mean, this is, whoa.
And here's a breakaway for Iginla. He moves in. Save, Talbot. Big save. Big save. Everything was going the Rangers' way, and suddenly breakaway by the Avalanche leading goal scorer.
Yeah, they had it going so well. They kept the pressure up. That was McDonough that moved in, and he was looking to get a pass. Didn't get it, and that left his side then open, which is Iginla, a right winger on that side. Mr. Talbot just sits there and watches. Oh, boy, that's a big save. Remember that one at 2-0. And that was Colorado's first shot of the period.
The Hayes goal, by the way, his 9th of the season at 147. There's Kevin Hayes' dad.
On the left.
it's saved by Cam Talbot coming in the 4th minute of play. Early second period. Rangers with a 2-0 lead. Here's Kreider. Kreider against Tyson Barrie. Centers, tipped away. A chance for Stepan was deflected into the corner.
That was O'Reilly. Real good defensive play.
Kreider against Barrie again. The back pass all the way back into the Rangers zone.
Klein moved in. He was wide open in front, and O'Reilly just reached out as far as he could with his stick to deflect a shot.
Nice little pass. Step on to Stahl. Stahl tried to get it to Miller. Knocked away by Varlamov. Landeskog. Miller on him. Hagelin got a piece of it. McKinnon falls down. And here's Redmond. Pass through to Talbot, who dumps it deep. Hunwick hit by Talbot. Hayes back to help out. Takeaway. And the shot blocked. And that chance stayed out. As Talbot continues to come up with some important saves. Hagelin toward the net, gloved by Varlamov, who holds it. A little over 5 minutes gone by in this second period. Saturday night on MSG, the Rangers road trip continues with a stop in Glendale, Arizona, as the Rangers take on the Arizona Coyotes. Live coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern Time with Visa Rangers game night. Then the Rangers and Coyotes at 8 p.m. on MSG.
You know who's starting to play a little better for the Coyotes? Mike Smith, their goaltender, has had an awful year. Real tough season for him, but he's been better in the last 5 or 6 games.
Yeah. Since the All-Star break, he's come back since the break a lot better. They called him a young defenseman, Andrew Campbell, and they've been playing better defensively. Campbell has given him a presence, and of course they have Ekman Larson is the leading goal scorer amongst defensemen in the league. Stempniak. Brad Stewart.
I still think they're going to sell off quite a few of those players there. Yes, I do.
Well, you've been mentioning Vermette, and I'm sure a lot of teams will want him.
He's an interesting player. He can play in a lot of different circumstances. Good face-off man, power play you can play in, penalty kill. And he's an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year for a franchise that's trying to save money.
Makes him very attractive to a team that's contending for the playoffs and hopes to make a run at the Cup. Here's a chance just wide. That puck deflected to Iginla, and he just missed.
Yeah, this has been their best scoring line.
Tanguay toward the net, tipped wide by Duchesne. Colorado getting a few chances the last couple of minutes. Stahl reverses to Klein. 6:25 gone by in the second. Nash picks it up. Zuccarello across with Brassard. The shot deflected, blocked into the corner by Nate Ginnon.
Hear the Zooks here in Colorado? The fan club is following him around.
Brassard's pass tipped into the corner. Tanguay gives it away to Kreider. Kreider had it knocked away and played back by Tanguay. Iginla chipped it, but Stepan takes it back and shoots, and it was blocked in front.
Those are two terrible giveaways. One by Tanguay.
Here's Hunwick. Almost had a chance.
The other one by Iginla. They're two veterans on the wings. Both threw the puck to the middle of the ice.
Boyle hustles back for the puck. 7:10 gone by in the second. Goal by Kevin Hayes, giving the Rangers a 2-0 lead. Takeaway by Holden. Holden left it behind him. Stepan turns it to Kreider. St. Louis didn't see the pass. St. Louis was busting in, heading for the net, and thinking Kreider would come in and shoot. Stepan sends it in. Rangers change. Shots are 18-6 for the game in favor of the Rangers, and Colorado only one shot on goal here in the second. That was Iginla's breakaway. They've had some chances but missed the net. Hagelin to Girardi, quickly to Hayes. Taken away by Landeskog, and the Rangers take it right back. Hagelin around the board. Hayes there. Kept in by Girardi. Hagelin makes a move against Redmond. Goes the other way. Hagelin turns, puts one on goal. Stopped by Varlamov. Miller against Jan Heda. Miller keeps it alive to Hagelin. Fires back, intercepted by Landeskog. Girardi is back. So is McDonough. And McDonough broke up the play. Girardi for Hayes. Tyson Barrie back to get it. Barrie skating well, moving in. McDonough is there to stop him.
He's been out with a bad hip. He did return last game. Still not 100%. Probably a reason why they dressed 7 defensemen in this game.
Miller lifts it out. Rangers complete a line change. McKinnon was stopped by Girardi. And a whistle for a hand pass. 10:57 to go in the second period. The Rangers on a beautiful goal by Kevin Hayes lead it 2-0.
There's Kevin Hayes. What a game he has had. Both ends of the ice for Kevin Hayes. Defensively, how about this? Goes back in his own end, makes this play, heads up, nice outlet pass, get down the other end, quick passes, finding his line mates. No score at this point until this pass. He gets the assist on the first goal of the game. The dads are liking that, and he thought they liked that. How about this? That's even better. 2-0.
And Kevin's dad accepted congratulations in the booth. They're enjoying that. Boy, that's one way to impress Dad. What a move that was. Brad Stewart, good play by Stempniak on him. Forced a turnover. Avalanche have it back. Sent in by Daniel Briere. Talbot out to play it. Briere blocks it. Checked by Stahl. Daniel Briere gets loose, got tripped up. And crowd reacts. Nothing called on the play. Stahl takes it away from Briere. Now a wraparound try by Everberg was swept away. Varlamov bangs it off the glass. John Mitchell takes it out. Coming down to the midway point, second period. Rangers with a 2-0 lead. Goals by Dan Boyle and Kevin Hayes. Hayes with a goal and an assist in the game. Lead to Zuccarello with Nash. Left it for Nash. He was double teamed and Nash went down. Briere's pass tipped back in the Rangers zone. Girardi with Duchesne. Duchesne went down, got up, stays with it. McDonough on him. Up to Jan Heda. Now turning is Tanguay. Fires into the corner for Iginla. Girardi able to move it. Tanguay goes to get it. Centers all the way through. And Rick Nash has it. Nash starting play, tied for the league lead in goals scored with Alex Ovechkin at 33. Klein winds it around the boards. He's also 10th in the league in scoring. Here's Rick Nash. Step on. Mark Stahl comes down to keep it deep. St. Louis pass taken away by Redmond. Good pressure by the Rangers on the forecheck. Fired ahead for Duchesne. And stopped by Kevin Klein. Missed by Duchesne. Stepan moves in with some room. Save Varlamov. Fought it off with his right shoulder. Stepan to Klein. Big drive blocked in front. And brought out by Landeskog. Klein is back. Gabriel Landeskog through Klein with a save by Talbot. Good shot by Landeskog. Here's Tyson Barrie. A wrister. Save Talbot. He's made 2 good saves. Now McKinnon. To Landeskog. Back to McKinnon. And across to Barrie. The shot blocked. Stepan trying to move it. Stahl against Ryan O'Reilly. O'Reilly trying to work his way to the front. Turns and shoots. Blocked by Stahl. Pass off the stick of Gennon. Now Colorado with their first sustained pressure. O'Reilly double teamed. Stepan tried to clear it out. Long shift for this line of Stepan, Kreider, and St. Louis. That shot missed by McKinnon. Now Stahl Tried to fire it out. It was knocked down, kept in.
It's been such a long shift. And again, this thin air up here in Denver, it's taking its toll. They can't even skate. Rangers are just stuck.
Mitchell with a keep-in for Colorado.
It's like they're in mud.
McKinnon holding. Played toward the net. They score! They finally broke through, and the captain, Gabriel Landeskog, gets the goal. That time, Colorado did everything right.
Oh, they did. That was a long, long, sustained 2 shifts. For the Rangers, they were gassed. They couldn't even move. Mark Stahl he just couldn't move his legs. Look at them. They couldn't do anything. Standing around, eventually the shot. Did he get his stick on it? Or did he get his skate on it?
And the play is under review. So we will see. The referees are Francois Saint-Laurent and Graham Skilleter. And Saint-Laurent on the phone, or on the headset, to the Situation Room in Toronto.
That took half the game for Colorado to have a good shift. And it was a good one. They were actually able to change lines in the middle of that. And here it is again.
The call on the ice is a goal.
Did he get it with his, I don't know if they're thinking, did he get it with his glove?
Discussion going on.
Yeah. Not sure if they thought it was a high stick or if they thought it was a glove.
Let's see. It's hard to see where it went off.
It bounced out. He made the save, and then it came up in the air and it hit him and went in. The question is, did it hit his glove, and was he moving forward with it? It hits a glove, and you've got your glove on the stick. It's a no goal. Here's another look here. We'll see. It goes up in the air.
If anything, maybe it went off his shoulder. What do you think?
I don't think it was that high. I think that the reason they're taking such a long look at this because it didn't go off the shoulder.
Good thing, in my mind, good thing for the Rangers. That line that was out there now getting a chance to rest and recover.
That's the problem with playing in high altitude, is that if you get caught on a long shift, it affects you for your next couple of shifts before you can actually catch your breath again and get started. Here's the answer.
After review, the call on the ice, Dan, we got a good goal.
All right, the review, the call on the ice had been a goal. Nothing definitive to overturn it. And the call on the ice stands. Colorado has broken through. The Rangers lead is cut to 2-1.
Well, all the work that they put in, that's a deserving goal for that long, long shift that Colorado had, and it got a little noise in this building.
Number 92.
Rangers have to try and regain some momentum here. The crowd has come alive. Taken away by Miller. Moves in and shoots. Save by Lomov.
Another turnover. That was Mitchell that turned the puck over to Miller.
Hagelin was tied up. Miller's pass deflected out of the zone. Taken by Max Talbot. Plays it deep. Hunwick after it. Moved around the boards to Mitchell. Mitchell was checked by Miller. Hayes to Miller. Whistle. And looks like a penalty called on the play. Gabriel Landeskog went to the front and capitalized, scored the Colorado goal. Check out our Cadillac trivia question for the night. Which father-son duo played the most career games with the Rangers? Think about that for a while. Rangers took a penalty. JT Miller was called for hooking, and Rangers shorthanded here.
You'll see Miller right here get the stick right there on the hands. And so the Rangers, total control at 2-0. And now 2-1, and Colorado on the power play.
This is a big moment in the game. Landeskog got his 11th of the season from Mitchell and McKinnon at 12:46. And Miller for hooking at 13:22.
By the way, Sam, on that shift, that long shift, both Klein and Stahl were on the ice. 2:06.
Sorry, Joe Girardi for tripping. Rangers will be 2 men down.
That's how quickly things can change in this game.
Wow.
Girardi has it. Tries to get it. Has it stolen from him from Landeskog. And that quickly, the Rangers are trying to hang on to the 2-1 lead.
Well, there's a big spot. This Colorado power play has really been struggling, but now they have a huge opportunity. A 2-man advantage for 1:53. Rangers have Hagelin, Dominic Moore, and McDonough. 2 forwards, 1 defenseman. Barry to O'Reilly. Barry with a shot wide off the back of the net. Played up the boards by McKinnon to Iginla. Jerome Iginla to Nathan McKinnon. Landeskog battling McDonough in front. Shot by O'Reilly. Save. Hagelin. Tied up with Landeskog. Moved around the boards. Barry for McKinnon. Knocked away by McDonough. To the other side. Hagelin gets there. Tries to clear. It's kept in by McKinnon. Landeskog. McDonough on him. Now Barry gets it back to Iginla. Tyson Barry. Moving in and shooting. Save. Talbot dives for it. Couldn't control it.
Yeah, they need a whistle now.
Barry to Iginla. Iginla looking. And a giveaway, and it's cleared out by Dominic Moore. Rangers able to change all 3. Stahl and Klein come on with Stepan. This time 2 defensemen, 1 forward. 35 seconds to go in the 2-man advantage. Stahl with a takeaway. Behind the net, Klein. Briere takes it back. Iginla to Holden. Down low, Duchesne. That's tipped away. Great play by Stahl. That's Zach Redmond with a puck. Bringing it in. Stahl is there. Fired across. Briere. 5 seconds to go in the 2-man. Redmond looking. Out of the penalty box, JT Miller. Saved by Talbot. Deflected it with the stick, popped in the air, and he gloved it. Stops play, 4 seconds remaining in the Colorado power play.
This is spectacular penalty killing by the Rangers. Earlier on this 5-on-3, Hagelin comes across and does a real good job. Talbot hasn't faced many difficult shots on the 5-on-3. He stopped that one. And then Stahl, stick in the right position, deflects that pass from Duchesne out to the neutral zone. Rangers not giving up many chances.
4:34 to go in the second period. Face-off win by Dominic Moore. Out of the penalty box comes Girardi. Great penalty kill for the Rangers. They maintain the 2-1 lead. Pass in front, just missed by Dominic Moore. Played by Jan Hejda. Colorado 0 for 3 on the power play in the game. 0 for their last 30 in the last 10 games, including this one. Zuccarello, it will work it away. Gets it to Brassard, now to Nash. Hunwick goes straight down the middle. Nash to Zuccarello. Score! Matt Zuccarello does it again! And the Rangers lead 3-1.
I'll tell you what, Matt Zuccarello first makes the play in the defensive zone. Watch him go down and doesn't give up. And then gets the puck up the boards. And then he'll just join. He'll be the 4th man in. Nash finds him. Oh, I love when he starts shooting the puck. So he makes the defensive play by not giving up in his own zone. And then does this. What a play. What a goal.
This is a great pass by Nash.
Oh, it's a wonderful pass. But Zuccarello's effort in the defensive zone when he got knocked down to still knock the puck away, get back up and join the rush. Beautiful.
7-game point scoring streak for Matt Zuccarello.
Goal 60 minutes, 2 seconds. of this
Rick
second.
Nash, who had 3 assists in the game in Toronto, picks up another assist.
60-14.
That's played off the boards by Talbot. The Rangers have regained a 2-goal lead. So the Rangers with the big penalty kill, down 2 men from minute 53, kill it off, and then come right back with a goal to take a 3-1 lead.
Well, you think of the first shot that Colorado had in this period when it was 2-0. Talbot made that save on a Ginla. Then they went through that long stretch where the Rangers controlled play against Patrick Waugh's team, and then it changed quickly with the long shift. They score the goal. Now they go on the power play, and it looked like, boy, oh boy, Rangers need something to happen. And it did with the penalty kill, and then that guy, Matt Zuccarello, with plays on both ends of the ice to restore the 2-goal lead.
It continues to be a huge spark. And the Ranger forwards continue to play well both ends of the ice. I mentioned Zuccarello's defensive play. Several forwards have made outstanding plays coming back. 3-1 Rangers. 3 minutes to go in the second period. Barry checked there by St. Louis. Good hit by Kreider. And Zuccarello, or excuse me, St. Louis clearing it out of the zone. Rick Nash has points in 6 of his last 7 games. Around the boards for Landeskog. And Zuccarello with points in 7 consecutive games. Zuccarello falls down, and the puck cleared out. McDonough for Zuccarello. Rangers have not had a power play in this game. Hit by Brassard in the corner on Nate Gennon. Up the board, stopped by McDonough to Zuccarello. Try to get it to Brassard. That was broken up. Nash controlling. Drops it off for Girardi. Took a hit. Winds it deep to Brassard. Barry moves it up the boards. And Everberg brings it out. Dumps it in and chases. Everberg gets to it. Around for Tanguay and back to Redmond. That was blocked by Girardi. Girardi moves the puck for Hagelin. Jan Heda pinches in. Girardi knocks down Everberg. Minute and a half to go in the second period. Rangers with a 3-1 lead. Miller almost took it away. Rangers have it back. Delayed penalty coming up on Colorado. And the Rangers' first power play of the game with 1:19 to go in the second period. Rangers turn the game. Great penalty kill and a goal by Matt Zuccarello. 3-1, they lead it. Time for the Papa John's replay, 3rd goal replay, Joe.
It's all about Matt Zuccarello. He's right there. Keep an eye on him. The effort first defensively. You'll see him get knocked down and just reach out with his stick. Deflect the puck, then clear it up the boards. Rangers have 3 players going. The 4th one is Zuccarello. He takes the pass. Beautiful pass from Nash, and then the finish, 3-1.
The day after the Rangers score 3 or more goals, get 50% off your regular menu-priced online order at papajohns.com with promo code Rangers3. Available at participating Papa John's locations. Rangers' first power play of the game is presented by Volkswagen. And a clear little change on the power play. McDonough on the first power play unit now with Stepan. The line of Zuccarello, Brassard, and Nash. There's McDonough, Zuccarello. Under a minute to go, offside was whistled on the Rangers. Rangers have scored power play goals in 3 of their last 5 games. 3 for 12 on the power play.
I like the move that Alain Vigneault made. That first power play unit was struggling. And so even though the team's been winning, he said, listen, we got to score on a power play. It's got to be a factor. So he moves Zuccarello, who's been obviously hot, and Marty St. Louis, who's been struggling to score goals. They switch positions. And then he gets a left-handed shot in McDonough on the ice instead of Boyle.
The penalty was Zach Redmond, the defenseman, for hooking at 18:41.
The left-handed shot with McDonough out there allows him to take the shot off the pass with Stepan moving it from the boards.
Nash moving in, 3-on-1, save off the left arm of Varlamov. Good chance, good shot, and Varlamov came up with a big stop. Here is McDonough, 12 seconds to go in the period. Now Brassard, shooting, save made by Varlamov. And it's cleared all the way down. That'll do it for the period. Rangers power play will carry over into the third period. 42 seconds remaining. And the penalty to Zach Redmond. But boy, was that a game that had its moments. Rangers dominated early, took a 2-0 lead. Colorado came back, had the two-man advantage. And then the Rangers penalty kill and the goal by Zuccarello turned it around.
And Sam, the Rangers nearly made this a 4-1 game as Nash. It was a 3-on-1. Beautiful play by Stepan. Catches three of the Colorado players in the neutral zone, and then there's a shot. Shoulder save and a good one by Varlamov to keep this a 2-goal Ranger lead.
Coming up, it's the New York Lottery Intermission Report. John Giannone rejoins us. His special guest is Carl Hagelin. Back in the studio in New York, Bill Pito has the Audi MSG 150. Brian Leach and Ron Duguay in the studio with highlights and analysis all coming up on the New York Lottery Intermission Report. Rangers skating well, scoring some big goals. The Dads loving it, and the Rangers lead 3-1 end of the second. We are back in Denver, getting set for the third period. Rangers and the Colorado Avalanche. It's hockey on Thursday night, and Thursday night hockey is presented by Ram Trucks. Let's check out the updated Metropolitan Division standings brought to you by Kia. Islanders won over Toronto 3-2. They have 73 points. Pittsburgh won in a shootout. They have 72 points. Washington won last night in overtime in San Jose. They have 68 points. Rangers have games in hand on all three. If they get 1 point out of this game, they move into third place in the division. Right now, Rangers in a wild card spot. Let's check in with John Giannone. He's got the coach's view of things. John.
Yeah, Sam, I talked to associate coach Scott Arniel, who was really impressed by that penalty kill. He said, you know what we did? We did a really good job of not allowing them to get off one-timers, and we kept almost everything to the outside. He said that was the important part. They have a few guys who could take dangerous shots, but we didn't give them any time to either set up in a dangerous place or to penetrate. When I said to him, Carl Hagelin told us about having to learn your lesson from 2 nights ago, the 2-goal lead that disappeared. He said, watch the first 5 minutes. Everyone's going to get a shift. Everyone needs to be ready to go. That'll be a telltale sign of whether we learned our lesson.
Thanks very much, John. Rangers start the period on the power play. 41 seconds to go in the man advantage. Deep into the Ranger zone. Played by O'Reilly and a save by Talbot. He had to make a tough save.
Sam, he misplayed it behind the net. That threw off McDonough, who had to try and reach for the puck. He couldn't get control, and that allowed the shot on goal.
Aggressive forecheck by Colorado, and now it's carried by McDonough. Dumps it in and chases, gets picked off. Varlamov decides to cover up. 10 seconds to go in the Rangers power play.
Now that initial dump in, the Colorado Avalanche won the opening faceoff and then just threw it in, and the Rangers had a few problems controlling the puck.
Hayes comes on with Kreider and St. Louis, McDonough and Boyle. With 10 seconds remaining, Hayes wins the draw. Boyle to Hayes. Ooh, he could have turned around and shot. He was open. Now Lowe is knocked away from Kreider and lifted out by John Mitchell. That does it for the Rangers power play. They got one shot on goal. Rangers with a 3-1 lead. They are 22-0-1 this season, and they take a lead into the third period. Holden for Everberg. Now Mitchell, checked by Boyle. Hayden's shot knocked down, loose in the slot, save! It was loose in the crease. And Talbot came up with a big pad save.
And then a second one on Tanguay after that.
Talbot has made some big saves in this game.
He's looked much more comfortable in goal and much more confident than he did against Toronto.
2-1-1 since taking over when Henrik Lundqvist was injured. Stahl checking Duchesne. Nice takeaway by Mark Stahl. And a giveaway, and that shot went wide by Duchesne. Another giveaway to Tyson Barrie, and his shot got blocked. And after the whistle, pushing and shoving involving Tanner Glass and Cody McLeod.
McLeod's never been shy to drop the gloves, nor is Tanner Glass. Stahl made such a good play to steal the puck, and then he was trying to find a play and then put it right back on the stick of Duchesne, who missed the net. And then one more chance, then Talbot did a good job on that. And then prior to that, here's the one save, and then here comes the second one. Tonge with the right arm.
I didn't realize how good that was, Joe.
Great save.
So first 2 minutes of this third period, Colorado putting some pressure on, and Cam Talbot has come up with some great saves. Face-off win by O'Reilly. Into the corner, O'Reilly and Dan Girardi. This is Landeskog. Girardi on him. In deep, Gennin. Saved by Talbot. He covers up. Play stops. 2:06 gone by here in the third. Introducing MSG Go, the only app that lets you watch MSG Network's coverage of live Knicks games anywhere. Download now at the App Store or Google Play. MSG Go is currently available to Optimum subscribers. Broussard fires around the boards and out of the zone all the way back. Varlamov leaves it for Tyson Barrie. Nash after him. Barrie to Gennin. McKinnon drives it hard around the boards. Missed by Zuccarello. McKinnon toward the net. Nice play by Hunwick. Here's Broussard. Dumping it in. Broussard has points in 5 of his last 6 games. With a goal and 6 assists. Hayes, Hagelin, and Miller on for the Rangers. Here's Mitchell. John Mitchell moves in against Carl Hagelin. Mitchell maintains possession. Pass across. And a save made by Talbot. Another good chance. This one by Stefan Elliott, the defenseman. And Talbot another big save. The upcoming schedule brought to you by Lexus, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Rangers. Saturday night, Rangers at the Arizona Coyotes in Glendale, Arizona. On the air at 7:30, 8 o'clock on MSG. Monday night at Nassau Coliseum against the Islanders, 7 p.m. And then home Thursday night against the Vancouver Canucks. The Islanders have won 3 in a row. Their 3-2 win over Toronto tonight. They maintain their lead in the Metropolitan Division.
Well, you have to keep winning just to stay up.
Yeah.
To stay close. Pittsburgh is playing much better hockey. They're healthier.
Little pass to Mitchell. Mitchell moves in. Mitchell getting a lot of ice time. Gets ridden down by McDonough. Kreider trying to move it out of the zone. Digging for it. Mitchell trying to keep it alive.
McDonough just decides to slide Mitchell and the puck. Pushes both of them outside the blue line.
Good move.
That's one way to clear the zone.
McDonough to step on. And Stepniak tries to lead Kreider out of the zone. Taken back by Holden. Now Iginla. Jerome Iginla playing in his 1,365th game. What a career he's had. Signed as a free agent.
Recently scored his 1,200th NHL point. 47th player in the history of the game to do that.
Stepniak bangs it off the glass. Down the ice it goes. It'll be an icing on the Rangers. So thus far, Colorado with the edge of play here in the third.
Sam, 4.5 minutes in, and most of the play has been in the Rangers' zone. Exactly what the coaching staff did not want to happen. And of course, as reported by John Giannone, they talked to them about that first 5 minutes of doing the right things, and Colorado's had the edge.
O'Reilly wins the draw back. Redmond playing it ahead for McKinnon. McKinnon checked by McDonough. Now Redmond across to Barry. Tyson Barry's shot saved by Talbot through traffic. And a good stop, and he holds it.
Yeah, he was screened on the play, but he was in good position and felt it, and then he reacted after the shot. Is he right in front? Girardi is there, along with Landeskog, and good job by Cam Talbot.
Early in the second period, the shots in this game were totally one-sided. Now it's closed in, where the Rangers have had 23, Colorado with 20. O'Reilly puts it out in front. Talbot got a stick on it, and it's chipped out by Kevin Klein. Barry across, gets it back from O'Reilly. Tyson Barry pressured by Broussard. Broussard, Zuccarello, and Nash on for the Rangers. Rangers with a 3-1 lead. Rangers scored a goal in the first period by Dan Boyle, a goal in the second, 2 goals in the second, one by Kevin Hayes gave the Rangers a 2-0 lead. Colorado cut that to 1, and a goal by Gabriel Landeskog, and then Matt Zuccarello made it 3-1. Deflected toward the goal, played away by Varlamov. Everberg clearing it out, knocked down by Dan Boyle. Mitchell puts it in the Ranger zone. Talbot quickly skates out to play it. Hunwick with a little pass, but a giveaway to Mitchell. And a shot wide, a rebound off the side of the net. Played into the crease, and a good play, alert play by Cam Talbot to glove it and stop play.
The Rangers have made a lot of those little passes in their own zone to the middle of the ice. But what Colorado has done is that they've cut that off quickly. There's another one, and look how quickly Colorado forces a turnover, and they get a shot that just goes wide, and Talbot covers up.
Hunwick actually kicked the puck to Talbot to allow him to stop play. Alert play by both Hunwick and Talbot. 7th straight face-off in the Ranger zone. Stepan backhands it out. Holden goes to get it. St. Louis, nice takeaway. In deep for Kreider. Checked there by Brad Stewart. Matt Duchene. Stepan stops him. St. Louis comes over. Talbot plays it back to Holden. And around to Stewart. This is Matt Duchene using his speed, but forced to stop by Kevin Klein. Towards Stewart, finds it deep for Max Talbot. Klein gets over, finds Marty St. Louis, and he was stopped by Iginla. Shot save, rebound score! Iginla has cut the Rangers lead to 3-2.
I mean, Cam Talbot can't do much more. He's made some brilliant saves. Marty St. Louis had time to make a play in his own zone. Right here, he's got all kinds of time and loses the puck, and it turns into the goal that makes it a 1-goal game. Look at St. Louis, got plenty of time. Iginla just steps up on him and makes the play. And then Iginla gets the rebound and puts it in. So Iginla steals it from St. Louis and then gets the rebound to make the game interesting again.
37-year-old Jerome Iginla, his 17th goal of the season, leads the team, and the 577th goal of his career. 18 seasons in the NHL. A backhander glove by Talbot. McKinnon coming in, and he squares off with Dan Girardi. Iginla's goal cuts the Rangers' lead to 3-2.
Rangers clinging to a 3-2 lead. Now they're going to have to go back on the penalty kill. Tanner Glass, he's right here. And as the play going out, number 90. Arm goes up right away, but they gave him the penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. That doesn't make sense.
No. Well, right now, 7 minutes, 2 seconds gone by here in the third period, and Colorado has outshot the Rangers 10-0. That's how much they've dominated this third period. And now a one-goal game, and the Avalanche on the power play. They're 0 for 3 on the power play in the game.
Oh, now they change. It's not unsportsmanlike. It's illegal check to the head is the penalty.
New York penalty.
There's Iginla. Dominic Moore with a takeaway as Iginla lost it. Moore and Hagelin, Girardi and McDonough for the Rangers. Tyson Barrie. 7:20 gone by in the third period. Rangers lead. Cut to 1. They've led by 2 goals twice in the game. Avalanche head up ice. Again, Barrie leads Landeskog. Girardi with a hit on Landeskog. The puck around for O'Reilly. Couldn't handle it. Cleared by Rick Nash. Barrie back for it. Minute 15 to go in the Colorado power play. Nash and Stepan on with Klein and Stahl. Klein plays it for Nash, who turns, fires it out.
Boy, good job by both Klein and Nash. Nash being in good position, the communication between the two of them so that Klein could just put it easily off the boards to allow Nash to clear it.
Holden carries across. Looked like an offside.
It did.
Duchesne around the boards. Nobody there for Colorado. Holden put it back in the Ranger zone. But the Avs would have been offside, but it allows Mark Stahl to clear all the way down. Here's Holden again. 30 seconds to go in the Colorado power play. Duchesne sends it in. Nash missed it. Here is Zach Redmond with a drive. Blocked in front. Duchesne shot saved. Oh, Duchesne with a quick backhander. He looks like Joe Sakic on that.
Let's not go too crazy.
That was...
The other guy's a Hall of Famer.
That was a pretty good shot.
It was a good shot.
It reminded me of Sakic.
Okay. All right.
Who happens to be the GM
I was thinking
here.
of Red Berenson, the backhand. I'll tell you what, Sam. Talbot played a good game. That's a good set. It's a good pickup for him to find that. And he's been good. The shots now. Colorado is now taking the lead in shots on goal, 24-23.
11-0 the shots here in the third for Colorado. And we played nearly 9 minutes. Played back by McKinnon to Tyson Barrie, looking for a shooting lane. Doesn't have it. Landeskog. Here's Barrie. Landeskog looking down low for O'Reilly. But McDonough got a piece of it. Barrie again. Power play is over. Team's back at full strength. Landeskog for O'Reilly. Pass tipped by Girardi. The shot blocked. Rangers penalty kill 4 for 4. That shot wide. A hard shot by Landeskog. Missed the net. Deflects up into the netting and play stops. 10:42 to go in the third period. Rangers still lead 3-2. This spring, Broadway's biggest spectacular will be at Radio City Music Hall. The New York Spring Spectacular starring the Rockettes. March 12th through May 3rd. Visit Rockettes.com/spring. It's a show everyone will enjoy. So now the Rangers have to get something going and play some time in the Colorado zone. The entire third period has been the Rangers in. Tanguay toward the net. And Brad Stewart had snuck in. The defenseman just missed. Mitchell shoots wide.
Talbot did a good job with the stick.
Everberg stopped by Zuccarello. Trying to move it. Lifts it out of the zone. Coming down to the midway point. Third period. Rangers leading 3-2. Colorado dominating play. The puck deflects high in the air and goes over the glass into the crowd. 10-12 to go in the third period. Rangers leading 3-2.
Well, they do. You're right, Sam. I mean, they do need a little bit of time down on the other end, and you look at that, and Cam Talbot He has made some big-time saves. Not just in this period in the game.
Stopped Iginla on a breakaway in the second period. Came up with a couple of saves when the Rangers were 2 men short. Race for the puck. Aitken back for it. Casey Miller on him.
The linesman fell down. I think Iginla accidentally knocked him down. He was slow to get up and still seems to be trying to shake it off.
Gennon drops it back for Barry on the forecheck Hagelin. Tyson Barry holding. Up ahead, Matt Duchene off the boards. Missed by McDonough, played by Dominic Moore. Able to get it out of the zone. 9:25 to go in the third. Rangers leading 3-2.
That linesman was Trent Norris, his 3rd consecutive game doing a Ranger game.
Here's Hayda. Blocked. He shoots. He scores! Jan Hayda's first goal of the season. His first goal since January 2014. And he's tied the game.
Rangers get caught backing up. They have enough players on the ice. That one's blocked, and Hayda gets his own rebound as Girardi blocked it, and the puck came right back to Hayda. Tanner Glass was there. Couldn't quite get the stick of Hayda. And it's all Colorado here in the third.
Jan Hayda had gone 88 games without a goal since January of last year. And now Colorado dominating this third period. Rangers have yet to get a shot on goal, and it's a 3-3 game. Off the boards, O'Reilly. Huge comeback for the Avalanche. That shot goes wide. McKinnon gets to it.
Equalizer.
Nathan McKinnon maintains possession. Takes it around the net. Put it into the crease and went off the skate of Hunwick. Landeskog fires across. Tipped by Dan Boyle, and out comes Rick Nash. Racing down against McKinnon. McKinnon stayed with him and upended him without taking a penalty.
Now the Rangers look like they have absolutely zero energy.
Wow.
They were so dominant for a period and a half. And now Colorado has completely reversed it.
Rangers led 2-0 and 3-1. And that 2-goal lead has evaporated. Here's Hayes moving in. That's a pass. Score! Carl Hagelin! The Rangers' first shot on goal of the third period. And they regain the lead, 4-3.
I'm telling you, this line has really been something. Hayes again looked like he might shoot, attempted to pass, and I believe Hagelin gets his own rebound. A hit, I believe there's a deflection, and he just gets his own rebound. Got a piece of it the first time. Hayes takes his time, and then Hagelin is able to put it in. First one didn't get to the net, but he found the puck and put it in.
Big game for Kevin Hayes, a goal and 2 assists. And the Rangers have the lead with their first shot on goal of the third period. 4-3.
What a wild one this has been.
Stepan tried to get out in front. Mitchell able to move it up to Tanguay. Tanguay drops it off for Mitchell. Back the other way. Hayda scored at 10:44 from McGinley and Duchene. And at 12:08, Hagelin from Hayes and Klein.
Another good defensive play there by Hayes coming back after the giveaway.
Driving to the net, Duchene. Saved by Talbot. Oh, man, both teams getting some chances here. That goes all the way down. Icing on the Rangers. 7:01 to go in the third. Don't move. I mean, anything could happen now. After the goal by Hayda, a minute 24 seconds later, Hagelin scores to give the Rangers the lead. I know Carl Hagelin's dad wanted to be here, but he couldn't. And I'm sure he's watching somewhere. For Carl Hagelin, his 12th goal of the season.
Big face-off here. Hayes against Duchesne. Miller did a nice job to help out Hayes on the face-off.
Klein under pressure, able to get it to Mark Stahl. Bangs it off the boards down the ice. Race back for it, turns into an icing on the Rangers. And again, a lot of face-offs in the Rangers zone in this third.
Well, most of the play has been in the Rangers zone.
6:45 to go in the third. Colorado with 14 shots on goal here in the third period. Rangers only 1.
Now Colorado makes a change. Ryan O'Reilly, who's a good face-off man, will take this face-off against Hayes and not Duchesne.
And it bounces past Hayda.
Miller again does a nice job twice.
Back comes Landeskog, dumps it in. Stahl, pressured by Landeskog. Zuccarello moves it for Brassard, who chips it out of the zone. Hayda back to get it. Nash on him. And Hayda ending a long, long drought.
Well, he's not known to be an offensive player
No.
by any means. He's a pretty solid defensive player.
A lot of Ranger fans chanting. Shot by Brassard, a save by Varlamov, and he holds it. 6:02 to go.
That's Hayda and Brassard. They were teammates in Columbus.
Wow. Uh-oh. They must have bad memories.
Brassard said, wait a second, he didn't score in Columbus.
6:02 to go. Third period. Carl Hagelin scoring for the Rangers to give them the lead. Time to answer our Cadillac trivia question. Which father-son duo played the most career games with the Rangers?
Stephans.
Stephans? No, I'm saying Lynn and Muzz Patrick.
You knew that. That's easy.
No, Jan and Tim Erickson. Whoa.
You know what? You're having an off year.
Jan and Tim Erickson. See, I don't think of Tim Erickson as a Ranger.
You're having an off year.
He was here for a little bit. The Patricks. The Patricks.
You are having an off
Maybe
year.
Muzz and Lynn weren't father and son. Maybe they were uncle and nephew.
You're having an off year, Sam. You know?
You went with the step-ons, excuse me. Wait a second. Time out. Shot by Dan Boyle is blocked. Miller intercepted and fired back in. Stefan Elliott. Mark Stahl bumped by John Mitchell. Puck lifted up by Barry rather, and they said it deflected off the netting and out of play. 5:40 to go in the third period. Saturday night on MSG, the Rangers and the Arizona Coyotes. Coyotes have been playing better of late. They've been in the hunt. They're on the air. 7:30 Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Game time on MSG. Rangers and the Arizona Coyotes. Hope you'll join us. Third game of the four-game road trip. Road trip ends Monday night at Nassau Coliseum. Rangers and Islanders. Dominic Moore. McDonough for Kreider. Winds up. Big drive. Save Varlamov. Up into the netting it goes. 5:18 to go in the third. Rangers leading 4-3. Rangers with 3 shots on goal now in this third period. Patrick Roy, he's made some bold moves in the past. As he told reporters this morning, he's here for the long run.
I'm not sure about the beard, though.
You don't like it?
Well, no, he said, I'm not going to shave. Maybe it'll bring us a little luck. He might be shaving if they lose this one.
McGinley, who has a goal in the game. Stahl able to clear it out. 5 minutes to go in the third. Tipped ahead by Cody McLeod. Stahl for Brassard. And it was blocked on the clearing attempt. Kept in, taken back by McLeod. Stahl on him. Duchesne. And Duchesne trying to play it. Zuccarello ties him up. Brassard worked it loose, clears it out. Race for the puck. Nash is going to get there first. That wipes off the icing. Nash tied up, able to play it. Double team. And help from Mark Stahl. For Nash. Comes out in front and shoots. He scores! Oh, great goal by Rick Nash! The NHL's leading goal scorer comes through to make it 5-3.
Rick Nash just wouldn't give up. His two line mates had already made a change. There's his dad, Jamie, watching all this. And Nash will recognize Hayes going to the front of the net and taking someone with him. There's Nash behind the net, gets knocked down. Now he'll get it. You'll see Hayes go right to the front of the net. He takes the defenseman with him. Nash recognizes, and what a power move to not only get there, end of a shift, and shoot all in one motion.
Goal number 34 for the NHL's leading goal scorer. As he takes the lead, takes sole possession, and been tied with Alexander Ovechkin. Derek Brassard will get another assist. Out comes Varlamov, goes to the bench with Colorado down by 2 with 4 minutes to go.
Nate McKinnon just chopped Dan Girardi across the arms. We're going to keep an eye on that. 29-5.
6 skaters on for Colorado. Their net is empty. McKinnon around the net. Drops it off for Hayda. Couldn't play it. McKinnon again. Here's Redmond across. Save by Talbot. Second save by Talbot. And that one came right through the crease. McKinnon. And the shot by Holden, rather by Hayda, was blocked. Landeskog. McDonough was on him. McKinnon again. Toward the net. Knocked down by Hayes. McDonough able to get it out of the zone. 3:15 to go. Rangers leading by 2. O'Reilly offside whistle. 3:12 to go. The Rangers had a 2-goal lead coming into the period. The game was tied. They have a 2-goal lead once again. Our game recap is brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Rick Nash leads the NHL with 34 goals. Also had an assist in the game. Kevin Hayes, a goal and 2 assists. Matt Zuccarello stretching his point-scoring streak to 7 with a goal in the game.
It hasn't been easy. This third period, Colorado really came out strong. Rangers scored to make it 4-3, and then the move by Nash just inside the post with that long reach. What an effort by him. And then Colorado comes back with a couple more. Save, and then the rebound save by Talbot to keep it a 2-goal margin.
Tyson Barrie, long pass deflected, comes into the Rangers zone, and is poked wide of the net to the bench for Varlamov. Colorado's net is empty again. They're down by 2 with just under 3 minutes to go. Klein and Stahl, Moore, Stepniak, and Kreider for the Rangers. And an intercept by Kreider, who skates it clear, fires to the empty net, but missed.
He must have just gotten to the red line. It was close to being an icing call.
Back the other way, Alex Tanguay takes it deep. Back pass to Barrie. Tyson Barrie, wrister blocked in front, went off of Kevin Klein. Stefan Elliott with a shot. Saved by Talbot with big Cody McLeod in front. And we may get a penalty here on the Avalanche. Alex Tanguay is going off for interference.
Actually, they changed it to tripping. And there's the trip as Hagelin tried to get out and make the play. So the faceoff now comes down to the Colorado zone. The goaltender, Varlamov, has to go back into the net. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, and the Rangers on the power play.
Their
second
2-goal
lead.
second power play of the game. This power play presented by Volkswagen. Tanguay tripping at 17:40. The Rangers now seem to have the game in hand. Hunwick with a drive, save made by Varlamov, and it's cleared all the way down. Hunwick and Boyle playing the points, with Zuccarello, Brassard, and Nash up front. By the way, it was J.T. Miller who got the assist on the Nash goal. The only assist. Zuccarello to Brassard. Boyle looking. Feed to Zuccarello. Back to Boyle. Now Brassard with room. He shoots. Save. Oh, beauty. With a glove by Varlamov. 1:40 to go. Rangers leading 5-3.
Yeah, Varlamov was very aggressive. Good puck movement by the Rangers. Brassard looked up. He's always looking to pass. And he walks in, elects to shoot there, and Varlamov aggressively with the save.
Don't forget, following the action on the ice, we've got complete post-game coverage coming your way. Mercedes-Benz Rangers post-game. John Giannone will talk to the player of the game. He'll work the locker room. We'll hear from head coach Alain Vigneault. Back in the studio, Bill Pito anchoring with Hall of Famer Brian Leach and Ron Duguay. We'll get analysis from Joe and Dave Maloney here in Colorado. It's all coming up on Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame following the action on the ice. Rangers with 5 goals in Toronto and another 5 spot tonight. So the offense is clicking.
Yep, that was the Avs that took the timeout to talk things over.
Rangers with Hayes, Kreider, and Miller on the ice with McDonough and Girardi. 1:40 remaining. And the Rangers leading 5-3. Miller a face-off win. McDonough. Girardi. Miller shoots. Good shot. Saved by Varlamov from the left pad. Fired down the ice as they look for the breakaway with Landeskog. But the Rangers were ready for it. Miller.
Derek Stepan hasn't played much in the period. Just 3.5 minutes of ice time here in the third period. I just think that Hayes is going so well, and you know, Miller's had a good game with the exception of the penalty, so he's given those players ice time. Marty St. Louis just 4 shifts in his third period. He had the egregious turnover.
And since the penalty, Tanner Glass hasn't seen the ice either. So Alain Vigneault sends his messages. Not a lot of fanfare. Just,
man, listen, these points are important now. Colorado's pulled their goaltender again.
and a steal by McDonough. Shoots to the empty net and scores. Ryan McDonough. It's a power play goal. And the Rangers lead 6-3.
What a read this was. He looked to his left. He saw McKinnon to his left and deep, and he just stepped up, anticipating where the puck was going. There it is. Sees him, steps up, intercepts it, and made no mistake.
And there's his dad. That feels good. Yeah, get the fist bump. That's okay. Rangers coming up big in the latter stages of this third period after Colorado had come on strong and tied the game 3-3. Rangers didn't get a shot for the first 12 minutes of this third period. And then they've scored 3 goals to put this game away.
Well, they did what they had to do. They didn't look like they had much energy in the first half of this third period. It was all Colorado. First 11 shots by Colorado. And then Hayes, what a game he's played. He sparked them with the setup for their first shot of the period, which turned out to be the goal by Hagelin. And then everything settled down and they got control again.
So the Rangers will make it 2 straight to start this road trip. And 5-1-1 in their last 7 games as they continue to keep pace with the other teams in the Metropolitan Division, who, as we mentioned earlier, are all winning. Islanders won, Pittsburgh won, Washington won last night.
Rangers are gonna get a
Penalty upcoming.
Tanner Glass, I believe, for a
Again?
high stick.
He went hard at Zach Redmond. Shot blocked. Mitchell again. Save. It went by Talbot, but the game has come to an end, and that penalty won't matter. This one is over. Cam Talbot comes up with an important win. His dad watching. Rick Nash's dad alongside, and a good night for the Rangers. There were some scary moments, to be sure.
Oh, for sure.
But the Rangers come up with a win, and for Cam Talbot, 3-1-1 since taking over for the injured Henrik Lundqvist.
Yeah, this was to me the best that Talbot has played since Henrik Lundqvist went down. He wasn't real busy in the first half of the game. At 2-0, he made a huge save on the 6th shot for Colorado, the breakaway by Iginla. He stopped that, and then in particular the third period start by Colorado, and he was excellent.
Rangers defeat the Colorado Avalanche 6-3. We've got a whole lot more coming your way from Denver right after these messages.